The last time, so as I was alluding to, when we're talking about guys that the Celtics can add, the last time Pascal Siakam was traded from an East team to another team within the East, Bruce Brown, Jordan Nwora, excuse me, 3 first-round picks to Toronto for Pascal Siakam. And then the Pelicans are involved 13, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
That brings us to this. Great idea by Tay on this one. Pascal Siakam.
Yep.
I love the fit. What would it cost? But let's start with this. Pascal Siakam in a Celtics uniform.
Yeah.
And this will open up the rest of the combo as it goes, just like we did last time. Pascal Siakam in a Celtics uniform. Jaylen Brown's playing, and he's there for the whole season. His knee is good. He's recovered fine. He is Jaylen Brown. Relatively healthy team. They're going to deal with some guys missing time.
Yep.
Are they in the playoff hunt? And are they a team that can win a series or two? Pascal Siakam wearing the green and white.
So here's the thing. You asked me that question, and it's a great question to get this thing rolling. Because how good of a coach is Joe Mazzulla in this situation? That's the question. Because here's the thing. Personally,
Why do you got to ask me this one?
Well, because personally, I look around and I see the Celtics talent, and I see, what the Pacers had last year, and I say, okay, yeah, Nembhard is good, but we got a Peyton Pritchard. Okay, Aaron Nesmith's good, but we got a Derek White. You know what I mean? Like, Obi Toppin's good, but like Sam Hauser is also pretty good. You know what I mean? At basketball, Anthony Simons is somewhere in this equation, right? And then I say, okay, they had a Tyrese Halliburton. And they had a Pascal Siakam, and then you had
Nembhard, T.J. McConnell, Mathurin.
There were some other guys.
Smith.
There were some other guys, and
a lot of buckets on the team.
Turner. You know what I'm saying? But there could be some talent around here. But the main guys, are the guys that I just mentioned.
Halliburton and Siakam were their 1-2.
Right. So I'm like, I think Jaylen Brown's a better player. Now, I know some people are going to get mad at me for saying this, but I think Jaylen Brown's a better player than Tyrese Halliburton. I think that.
Yes.
I know some people. I know we got some people maybe a little off camera.
Side tangent right now. In today's NBA where you need elite wings.
Yes.
And his ball handling has to get better, but that guy still can initiate an offense, can be a knockdown shooter, can defend 1 through 5, not good, but at an elite level, can be an all defense player if he really wants to. And now we found out, dealing with a knee pretty much the entire season.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown's better than Tyrese Halliburton, and Tyrese Halliburton just had an amazing season.
Okay, I'm just.
I don't mean to yell at you.
I'm just putting it out there. There's some other publications that are putting out top 10 lists
that you hear a lot, right?
And they're putting Tyrese Halliburton in them and not putting Jaylen Brown. I'm just saying, I personally
what you did? We're having a good show, good day.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, like, you get home and your roommate's like, hey, man, can you pick up the mess? I'm like, dude, I know that's it. That was one of those where it's not at you. I'm not yelling at you. I'm not yelling at the viewers. But a lot's going on.
I'm just saying, so if I'm looking and I'm saying, okay.
You're saying of the matchups, the ability of players.
Now, we would have to give something up. Obviously, we're not getting Pascal for free.
Yes.
But.
And this is you have to have this part of the combo. Yes.
Jaylen Brown and Pascal Siakam together is more talented group.
Okay.
Than Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal. And then I'm looking at the fit of, okay, Celtics want to run and gun as well. That's what the Pacers did last year.
Yep.
These are kind of the guys that can, now you have, instead of one guy who can slow it down and get to the mid-range and get a bucket, now you got 2 guys who can do that, right?
Yeah.
And then in the future, not past this year, you're adding a Jason Tatum back into this equation. Now you're really talking about championship, contender.
Yeah.
I think the ceiling of a team just this year with adding Pascal, and we'll talk about who would possibly have to give up, could put this team, especially in a weakened East, in the Eastern Conference Final situation.
Yep.
Am I wrong for thinking that?
No, not at all.
Okay.
And I think it's his fit. And the one player, also with the Celtics, they're under the second apron. So the quick talk on the second apron talk, can they put together contracts and only get Siakam back? So say if they trade away 3 players and only get them back. They're under the second apron right now. Right? Okay. I don't want to get into the litigation talk.
Yes.
There's also, I'm happy that the NBA is doing something to bring parity and competition and put a soft cap on it.
Right.
But it also takes away from the fun of any sport when you have to feel like an accountant or a lawyer when talking about any trades. And I love being a general manager.
They're under the second apron. You can do what you want to do.
They're under the second.
Yes.
So the conversation.
I believe they're under the first as well, and they're working towards getting under the salary.
Over the first.
Just over.
Maybe not everything's updated. Right away, though, So this is also a team in the Pacers
Yes.
that needs a point guard,
Yes.
needs a shooter,
Yes.
needs someone that can run an offense. Anthony Simons, 27 million almost 28 million off the books.
Right.
Pascal's going to cost him 45.
Right.
I would, now this is where it gets in the weeds of a lineup, I would trade a Sam Hauser because of his $10 million price tag, because you have Baylor Shireman and Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah.
So I think the conversation starts there. Celtics are still under the second apron. They have 5 first-round picks. I will give 3 to the Pacers. Maybe I would throw in 4 if it really has to get it done. Siakam is 31, so maybe I'm getting a little crazy with the first.
Yeah.
But Siakam is 31, so that's also 31 years old, high price tag, and the Pacers need to start putting together a team. Simons, under 30.
Yep.
Hauser, under 30, is 27.
Yep.
When Halliburton's back, he's going to need help around him. Maybe you throw in a Jordan Walsh,
Okay.
who is a Pascal Siakam light,
Okay.
and then I would take away some first-round picks. What do you think? I'm just, like, this is the part now. We're talking it through. We went from being Joe Mazzulla in an office with Sam Cassell. We're now Brad Stevens in an office with his guys.
Right. Well, because that's my question, right? Because then after that, you have 3 dudes now who are 50 million or more.
45 mil for Siakam. Tatum's 54. Jalen's
Right.
53 right now, but those are going to quickly be
Right.
60,
And
70.
Pascal, he's 45 this year. Next year's 48. The year
Yep,
after
exactly.
that's 52.
Everything escalates.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. In that first year of Tatum, we're going to have 3 dudes at 50 plus, basically. Like, how does that affect your ability to build a team around that? You know what I'm saying? You would have to be a Boston Celtics team that's 7 deep. You know what I mean? You would have to get
And do you
Peyton
want to
Pritchard
live
back
that
on
way? Do you want to be the New York Knicks?
Right. Is it possible? Like, I think it's talented.
Yes.
I think you're shooting for lightning in a bottle. I think you're shooting for those 2 or 3 years, right? Where you
Yes.
have 2 years where you have Tatum,
I'm with you.
Pascal, and JB all locked up under contract, and you're saying, all right, we're going to go guns blazing one more time. And then after that, we're going to have to do this salary shedding thing and whatever. And Tatum will be over 30 at this point probably, and we'll just see where we're at.
Just to make it quick,
Yeah.
yes, I agree with you. And to finish that thought, that's the only way this happens if they go one more go before Jaylen Brown is an Atlanta Hawk.
Right.
Like that's the way to summarize it.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And I want Jaylen Brown, if he retires as Celtic, only
I
wears
would
that
love it.
uniform.
I would love
Super
it.
rare in the NBA, but I would say if all his peak years is him with the Boston Celtics.
Yes.
And by his own choice, he ends up with another team, I think that'd be great for his
Right.
legacy and what he does to the city.
Right.
But that would be the timeline the Celtics would be picking. Because they figured out the second apron, kind of. They still have a lot to get done.
Right.
But the hard business decisions they're making now would have to be very difficult again 2 years. Where what does ownership want? What does Brad Stevens want? What does Joe Mazzulla want?
Right.
And can they come to a conclusion? Because again, so you're kicking the can down the road of the second apron, repeater taxes, all of that. Again, the litigation of when it comes to what the NBA salary navigation is. Or do you go, not for Siakam,
Right.
let's figure it out now. And then when we figure stuff out, Jaylen Brown will be, let's say, 32. Jason
Yeah.
Tatum will be 30, and then we can add that piece. Right? There is like kind of 2 avenues with this one.
It is.
The
And
third's a boring one of no Siakam.
Right. And I love just thinking about this. Now, you laid that out beautifully. At the end of Siakam's contract, right? Jaylen Brown, him, Tatum, they would have played 2 years together. That last year, going into that third year, now Siakam's not on contract anymore. Jaylen Brown will be making $64 million in his last year in this current deal, right?
Yep, I'm pulling
and
up the
then
salary
and Tatum would have a 1+1 at that point. You would have that year plus a player option on the back end of that. So that could see exactly what you're talking about. Him going into a contract year, Celtics saying, "Hey man, thanks." He ends up in Atlanta Hawk. They pay the $64 million. We get under the cap. Blah blah blah. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Right?
That's nice.
What I do love about this situation, George, is having Pascal in as a winner. I mean, you talk about him being the second best guy on the championship team in Toronto.
Exactly. Not just with the Pacers that made a run.
It's barely
With that
talked about.
Raptors team.
But I mean, when I was questioning the whole entire run this past year to the finals. Like, is he the best player on this team? I thought he was. I thought he was the best player on the Pacers this past season. And it was because every single time you needed a big shot or every single time there was a lull, who came in and showed up and got a layup. It was funky. I hate it. Travis, if he was on the show, he would tell me that he thinks I hate Pascal Siakam because, one, admittedly, he went to my rival college.
Oh, okay.
Admittedly, he did go to my rival college. But two,
Which rival college?
I'm not saying that
Oh,
name.
okay. I'll try to get you.
The Aggies. You know who they are. Anyways, one of the Aggies. You'll figure it out. Anyways, 2, his game is funky. He does have that spin move that he tries to get to every single time. It is predictable at times. Same thing people say about Tatum with his step back, but guess what? It's effective. He gets it done. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
What
it could
I
be
love,
funky. It could be boring. If it wins, who cares?
Exactly. That's it right there. I love a winner, and I know Brad loves one too, dude. And he was a winner in Toronto. He was a winner in Indiana. Odds were stacked against them in both scenarios. And guess what? He elevated every single time. If you can add that with the Jays, even if it's for 2 years, I think you're getting one.
So you floated Siakam with Jaylen Brown, how they fit.
Yes.
Not this season, next.
Yes.
Jason Tatum will be playing basketball for the Boston Celtics. There won't be any question.
Yep.
They could talk about February this year. There's not a guarantee he returns this season.
Whatever.
Next season, it would be Pascal Siakam, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, the rest of the guys. But also, D. White could be moved in this.
Yep.
So let's focus on the big three because you're making this move to make another big three and make another run. Mm-hmm. Can those three coexist on the offensive end?
Yes.
Because Siakam's been that guy that's fine deferring.
Right.
But to step up and make the winning plays.
Yes.
Like how Derek White does. And Jason Tatum, coming back from an Achilles, there will be a different type of game to him.
Right.
Jaylen Brown will be the athletic guy, the rim runner, more in the pick and roll. Jason Tatum, I think, will be more initiating and on the perimeter type, but can still defend.
Yeah.
And then Siakam, to your part, will make the winning plays. I think those are three guys, again, that there is buy-in, that if it's winning, they'll do it. And Joe Mazzulla would get that.
And they don't care. Like, they don't care. You know what I mean? All three of these dudes are about winning. I watched Tatum, watch Drew Holiday say, all right, pound, come off the ball screen. He ain't touching the rock 2, 3, 4 possessions. He ain't walking down.
Yeah.
All right. Respect. You know what I'm saying? So with these three dudes, you're going to have opportunities where there's going to be the Jaylen Brown night. There's going to be the Tatum night. There's going to be the Pascal night. There's going to be the night where all three of them get it done or two of the three at any point. And guess what? As long as they win, they're good. This could coexist. And I think the fact that all three of them are dangerous on all three levels, you know what I mean? You don't want any of them getting the basket. We know that for sure. The mid-range is where Jaylen Brown and Pascal want to live.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And those two same guys also have extended their range out to 3 to be very, very consistent and deadly if you leave them open. So it's just a tough 3 to guard because all three of them will take whatever you give them.
With all these questions around who the 5 is as well, like those 3 guys would run the boards every single night for the team too.
Rebounds,
with Siakam,
switching on defense, all 3 of them can switch onto a 5-man if you need them to for a
You're
possession.
going to get 20 and 8 from Siakam.
Yeah.
20 points. And like shooting 53% from the floor, right around there. Along with the Jaylen Brown, who can get you 25 and 7 and pile up the assists. Along with Jason Tatum, who can average damn near a triple-double, right? Who could average 25, 11, and 6 for you, 6 assists. Or 11 assists, 6. You get what I'm saying with all of that. That would be a scary 3. What would that ceiling for that team be? Because that's an NBA contender, right?
Chip. It's just who's around them. Like
I think if that happens, I don't think there's a Derek White on that team.
You're probably right, and that's where
at that price and his value.
And that's where Brad's gonna have to do Brad things. He's gonna have to go find the next Derek White. You know, the guy who is not looked at as the guy. And I think he's trying to figure that out right now with the rest of this team, as we just laid out with Minots and Hugos and Luka Garza's. Like, who's going to be a guy that can come in and elevate their ceiling? You know, he's trying to figure that out. He will have to figure that out if that team has the opportunity to win the championship. But, man, is that a great start.
It would be great. Oof, man, that team, the construction of them look interesting. Last one, super quick, Tay. If it's not a Siakam, is there an equivalent out there of, hey, go make a trade?
Because I want John Collins, man. I want John Collins.
I mean, why?
The Clippers are also doing whatever the heck they're doing right now. They might fall apart.
I know.
Quick.
We saw, all the floats out there, too, of the last time there was cap circumvention in the NBA and with it happening allegedly in LA right now.
Yes.
That cap circumvention and the penalties that Timberwolves faced is what cost them Kevin Garnett's prime.
Right.
The same thing could happen to the Clippers.
Yes.
Voided contracts, dock of draft picks are going to have to get a lot back.
Yep.
John Collins would make a fit too. And then that would be a team the cost, literally fiscally,
Right.
would be different, and the trade cost would be different because you have the leverage because they are desperate.
And the timeline just fits. You know what I mean? I know Pascal fits perfectly too, but like John Collins is these guys' age. He's ready to rumble. He's ready to go win games. You know what I mean? He's hungry. He hasn't had the opportunity to be a winner at the level that Pascal has had because he hasn't had the teams around him to do so.
Yeah.
But I think he could be a guy in this Boston Celtics system, in this championship culture, that could be ready and rabid to go win a championship for this team. And that's what you want. You want dogs. And that dude is a dog.
I think I would take Siakam for the winning plays. He would cost more.
100%.
He gets you closer to the NBA championship.
100%.
But right, hey, you can
If
have
not
option
him,
A.
right.
You can have option A. You always have to have option B.
100%.
And there's an option C and D out there. We're not going to get into that. Maybe next episode.
Right.
I like these two combos.